Welcome everyone to your webinar today. We're going to take a look at the Manheim dashboard. Now, before we dive in, we do have some housekeeping that we need to do. Because we are a large group attending the webinar today, your audio is muted, but you will be able to chat with us using the questions box found in the Go to Webinar side panel. So if you would, go ahead, locate that questions box, and then at any time during the presentation, go ahead and type your questions in there, and we will be stopping throughout to answer those questions. And now I'll go ahead and give it over to Maj. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for taking time to join us today. I'm very excited to introduce this product that we are that just launched. Just a little quick background: I've been in the automotive industry for about 14 years. I've worked on both ends of the industry, from retail and wholesale, and I also have some experience with the software side of the business as well. So I'm very, very excited to bring all those three sides together today to help you guys navigate through this whole new landscape that we have, and also introduce this great new product that Cox Automotive is offering through collaboration of Manheim and Auto, and exclusively to our valued clients such as yourselves. So I'm very excited to be here today. Please chime in with questions as we go through, and we can go, and I can be happy to give you more updates. Before I get into the product itself and go through that, I just wanted to lay out the current market and just share some updates that our chief economist, Jonathan Smoke, has shared and is also available. I think that helps us really understand where we're going and how we got there. The most important thing is looking at consumer sentiment. And this is basically gauging out what consumers are doing and how are they feeling about the current market today. Unfortunately, we can see from its decline, it's been declining over the past couple of days, specifically more closer towards the end of February. The index was down about 0.2% in the last week or so from Monday. It's overall down 3.1% from the end of October, and down 21% since the end of February of last year. So it's really declining. You can imagine, right? You can see the huge drop happened right when COVID hit the market, and we haven't really recovered back up to where we used to be. So consumers are still hesitant or are not as inclined to jump into the marketplace as they were before COVID happened last year. But we are definitely seeing some shifts back and forth. Of course, it all depends on what's going on, how things are happening, and how they're feeling that day. As you can know, consumer sentiment will also impact your retail sales as well. Okay, so we look at that in correlation with actual retail. You can see that this is tracking year over year sales. It shows you the trend from last year, which is in the dotted lines. It shows you new versus used as well, and it shows you where we are today. So this is a little bit as of mid-February, and we're still waiting to get more updated numbers. But really, looking at this is just we're really seeing a little bit lower volumes in retail. It's really worked on. We've seen a little surge early on because we had the stimulus checks hit early on, and then it just dropped back down again. And you can see that both new and used are really following each other, the same trend. And if you look at last year, we've seen a dip as well in the same weeks as well. So we're hoping not to see the dip as we've seen later in the year in week 9 and 10, because that's really when COVID happened again last year. So we're hoping that the trend will start going back up again, especially now as tax season's coming, as hopefully another stimulus check is coming into the marketplace to enable these consumers, which will help, of course, consumer sentiment overall. If we look at the wholesale side of things and really understanding pricing, as you can imagine, pricing is, as we saw a huge increase last year towards October, November, December, where wholesale prices really skyrocketed. It was really because of MMR was trying to catch up, but there was really a little quirky pricing going on in the market. There was a huge demand for inventory. dealers weren't necessarily selling inventory, so they were holding on to the inventory that they had. They were not going into the marketplace because they purchased the vehicles in 2020 at a certain price, and they were not really willing to let them go at a wholesale prices. So we're trying to get as much retail pricing out of it as they can. But really, what we're seeing in the past couple of weeks is that prices are not retail prices were unchanged, but prices relative to the beginning of the year continue to be ahead of where they were at the same time last year. So it's becoming a really tighter wholesale marketplace as well. The good news is that in the past week or so, so the last week of February, the first week what we're seeing in March is that there is definitely an increase in activity overall in the wholesale marketplace. So that we are seeing a revival of more activity happening, which means that sellers are willing to let go of price of vehicles a little bit more faster and are not as holding on tight to prices, which is also hopefully enabling retail customers to start stocking up on inventory, getting ready for the tax season and trying to come back to some sort of a normalcy in the marketplace overall. So really, it's so we're looking back at where we are and what we're doing, and understanding, trying to navigate this whole change in how we're purchasing and buying cars, specifically for the wholesale marketplace. As you can imagine as well, if you recall last year, a lot of auction houses, the major auction houses shut down. They're not allowing dealers or buyers to come into the lanes to be able to view vehicles, to be able to buy vehicles in lane. And as things progress throughout the year, we've seen some opening of auctions, and we were able to go into the physically. But based on that, we've also seen a huge change and moving on to digital platforms, because you still have to buy cars, you still have to sell cars. So how are you able to do that? So leveraging technology was more important than ever during that time period. And we've seen a huge, we used to be about 50-50 digital versus in lane pre-COVID, but now we're seeing a huge surge. We're closing to 70-80% into digital platform. So Manheim Dashboard is really a portal or a view into that digital marketplace, and is really focused primarily to enable you as a dealer to navigate through the influx of inventory that is available in the marketplace today. But not only that, but also leveraging the data that you have at your fingertips, applying that to every single piece of inventory in the marketplace, that was going to enable you to make smarter, faster, hopefully profitable decisions. So it's really leveraging the auto live market data that is available and applying that to every single vehicle in the wholesale marketplace. If you will, providing a virtual appraisal on every single vehicle in the Manheim marketplace today, so enable you to save time on navigating through all the inventory, highlighting the inventory that you need, and then able to purchase that inventory faster and more efficiently. So now we're going to take a look at that Manheim dashboard itself and some of the benefits. So as I mentioned, it's really giving you wholesale market data at a glance. So it's enabling you to consolidate multiple views that you would use to evaluate a vehicle, whether it's a vehicle history report, whether it's book values that you're using, whichever book that you use, whether you want to look at the R values from your provision data, even if you want to access your appraisal module in provision as well. All of those are being consolidated into one view. So as you go from vehicle to vehicle, you're able to navigate and work through those multiple valuations, or look and evaluate those multiple data points all in one place without having to toggle to different platforms, without having to open different windows, and then having to have 10 to 15 different screens. So it's really working through optimizing your overall inventory management. So it's really enabling you to analyze inventory faster, quicker, being efficient in your process, so you're getting to the car faster. Because we all know that you're spending, on average, dealers that I've talked to spend 30-40 hours a week just researching. So you're spending all this time trying to research, looking at run lists, trying to figure out which lanes are going, and then have to remember creating buy lists, and then having to put notes and data as far as all those things, all pre-work, if you will, to get into the sale itself. And then you have to work fast within 6 to 10 seconds, maybe 15 seconds if the car is really getting a lot of hits. to enable you to make that decision. So that's why Manheim Dashboard really enables you to become to look at all of those faster and quicker. So really, I'm going to stop talking now a little bit, and I'm going to flip over to a quick video that is going to help us take deeper dive into the product itself. That's going to show you how it's going to work. And at the end of the video, there's only one quick slide to kind of summarize it, and then I would love to get some feedback if you have any questions or I go into deeper as far as the product itself. So I'm going to flip over to the video real quick, and we'll go from there.
Welcome. Manheim Dashboard was designed to help Manheim clients navigate the new normal of digital buying. One of the early adopters of the tool put it this way: Manheim Dashboard really streamlines the researching and buying process. All the data you need right at your fingertips to evaluate an auction car, all in one place. We wear so many hats at the dealership today. My time is valuable, and I don't have any extra. Manheim Dashboard makes it simple. So let's get started with our demonstration. You'll access the Manheim Dashboard through your vAuto Provision home screen. Once you link to the home page or the platform page, you'll have direct access to Manheim.com, OVE, and other private stores that Manheim supports. Let's go to the Manheim.com page. You'll have the same experience here as if you went directly from a web browser to Manheim.com. But what's different is it's framed in, and over to the right is all the data from your vAuto Provision appraisal screen and more in the glance. These vehicle insights allow you to make better, faster decisions on wholesale vehicles. So let's go ahead and search for some vehicles on Manheim.com. Here's our search result page. And you'll notice the difference on our SRP is a light bulb and a starring system. We also have our Carfax snapshot or pillars for quick vehicle history review. In the starring system, I could put a gold star on to save this vehicle as a favorite, or I could put a red star on it and never want to see it again while I'm doing some pre-sale work to eliminate it. Notice all the R-Book information from your Provision Inventory Management Suite. Adjusted average list price, average odometer, market day supply, both year, make, and model, and, like mine, your local live market view with one click. We have your wholesale data, like MMR, and in each of these glance cells, you can click into them and get a deeper dive, like the transaction data that determined the MMR average. All of the books that you have in your Provision Inventory Management Suite will carry over to the glance, Black Book, Gals, whatever you have subscriptions to. We also provide you with the AutoTrader Scarcity Index. You do not have to have inventory on AutoTrader to get this demand metric. Find third-party site listings on AutoTrader, CarGurus, Cars.com. By clicking into one of these, you can actually see similar vehicles on those sites that are listed in your area, and you can change the distance to see the number of units, including the average price they list for. KBB data, readily available. Carfax or AutoCheck, or both, depending on your subscription. And down below here, we have a window that provides you with an easy access to the detailed service records and any other detail you need to review. See the CR score. And by clicking into the cell, I can actually drill into the details, quickly find all the data to make a solid reconditioning estimate. And this is a great time to be able to use the notes pad. I can insert reconditioning items to keep track of this later. This note will follow the vehicle, particularly if I put a gold star on it. From here, I can go directly into the vehicle detail page, which allows me to go ahead and enter a proxy bid or enter the live sale if it's time. Or if it were a buy it now vehicle, go ahead and transact. I can even get a quote from Ready Logistics for transportation. And finally, I can perform a full vAuto appraisal right from this glance cell. By clicking this, it opens up my vAuto appraisal page. All of the information is pre-populated. I don't have to type in any of this info again. No cutting and pasting. Pull open my appraisal screen, conduct my appraisal, finalize it, and it will save the appraised value for the vehicle. The value will also follow it when I go to view it later, whether it be in simulcast or to go ahead and place a proxy bid. If you currently have profit time, finalizing my appraisal will provide my profit time score as well. Going back to my notes after I've done a vAuto appraisal, I may want to go ahead and insert my up to bid value. that will follow the vehicle of interest, and when the chaos of simulcast begins, or I get interrupted or need to multitask, my time invested is protected and documented. Going back to my platform page, if I were to go to OVE directly, I'll have the same experience. Here are the icons on my SRP, the stars, the light bulbs, and again, all of my vAuto provision data and more in the glance with one click of a light bulb. Now for an added bonus, check out this simulcast auction video demonstration. Our trainer will walk you through the benefit of identifying vehicles that you have researched. See how Manheim Dashboard can alert you when it's time to bid as they come through the lane in a live sale.
The Manheim Dashboard will bring all of your pre-sale work into the lane as you buy your cars through simulcast. If you have cars saved to your favorites list, you can join a live sale from the upcoming auctions on the bottom of the platform's page when you first open the dashboard. You can also join the lane how you did before in the Manheim.com platform, as this platform is the same website as Manheim.com. Today I will open a lane from the simulcast schedule. Each lane will open in a new tab and be labeled with the lane, run number, and name of the auction. The run number will update as the vehicles hit the block so that you can always tell where they're at in the sale. To open another lane, go back to your initial tab and click the Next Enter Sale button. This will also open its own tab and be labeled with the lane, run number, and name of the auction so you can easily distinguish which tab has each lane. As the VIN hits the block, the Manheim dashboard will populate all of the information for that VIN and mileage in your glance components, just like it does in the pre-sale process. Any notes you saved will also populate in the notepad at that time. You can open the full components by clicking on the cells in the glance, including your appraisal sheets. You can open the favorites from here by clicking the Favorites tab at the bottom. Be sure to avoid clicking the X in the corner of the report to avoid uninstalling the component. If you do click the X, just close the App Store. To get back to the simulcast window, click the name of the car in the glance box, the top gray bar, or the simulcast tab on the bottom left. If you saved a car to your workbook or the favorites list, when they hit the block, you'll get 3 notifications. The first is a symbol blinking in your tab. A blinking checkmark indicates a workbook item, and a blinking star indicates a favorited item. You will also hear an announcement with the lane and run number, along with an additional audible notification, a honk for the workbook cars, and a revving engine for the favorited cars. This notification happens only when the VIN hits the block in case they run the cars out of order. You will need to click into the tab to place your bid if you're not already in that lane. There will also be light bulb stars and the Carfax snapshot in the upcoming vehicles list. These function the same as in the pre-sale process, but when you click the light bulb here, it puts you in preview mode. In preview mode, your glance notes and components are filled with the information for the VIN and mileage of the car you just clicked until that VIN hits the block or you click the Resume Lane Sync button. This button will replace the bidding button while in preview mode. You can add the car to your favorites from here and add any notes so that when that car hits the block later in the sale, you'll get your alert and see your note right away. Preview mode also disables your bidding and notifications so that you don't make an honest mistake and bid on a car using the wrong information. The tab at the top will show you're in preview mode with a back and forth arrow. Once the VIN of that car hits the block or you click Resume Lane Sync, you'll be able to bid and get your notifications. The last piece of the simulcast platform is the lane monitor. The lane monitor helps identify vehicles of interest as they run through the block. If a vehicle of interest hits the block, you will get the same notifications as the workbook and favorite cars, but it will have a blinking diamond in the tab and make the sound of a cash register. To add items to the lane monitor, open the component from the bottom right-hand corner of your simulcast platform. Click the green button at the top that says Add Item and fill out any criteria you need. The first section is matching criteria, which includes year, mileage, and condition reports. It also includes a checkmark to only alert you if the vehicle is a provision recommended car for users with a provisioning suite. You can also use the keyword section for things like make, model, and color. Once vehicles matching this criteria hits the block, you'll get the lane monitor alert. The second section is bid versus value criteria. Here you can create an alert for when the bidding goes a certain amount back of your books or retail comparables. Just type in the amount back you want it to alert you, and specify which book and book value you want it based on. Once the bidding goes to or below your specified parameters, you'll get the lane monitor alert. The last section is informational use only and is used to place any notes on these items, like the name of the customer interested in the car. Then click Save. You can expand the filters by clicking the arrow next to the item. You can edit the filters by clicking the pencil, and you can delete the item by clicking the trash can and then remove. In the settings, you can add exclusions for vehicle conditions that would eliminate the vehicle from your interest. Just click the gear icon by Lane Monitor and go to Settings. Then you can click each section and the items you'd like to eliminate, and then click Save. These exclusions will apply to all items you add to the Lane Monitor. As you can see, the Manheim dashboard makes it easy to manage your simulcast sales and make informed decisions while the bidding is live by showing you all of the data for each vehicle that hits the block. If you have any questions or need assistance with navigating the simulcast platform, please reference the follow-up email from your initial meeting with your setup specialist.
That is great. I hope that gives you a quick idea of what we're dealing with and how to deal with it. And honestly, I'm super excited about this, is the fact that you're transacting, you're able to do everything that you want to do and still have all those quick evaluations or quick windows that allow you to make a decision, whether you're pre-planning or whether you decide to go live in a simulcast sale. And this applies across all of the Manheim marketplace. So any store or any private stores, if you purchase from any of the private stores, if you purchase from OVE, if you purchase from manheim.com, or via simulcast, so it applies across the board. So what's next, right? Really, next is basically getting you guys set up. If you choose to participate in this program, it takes about 30 to 45 minutes to get set up and configure your screen to be able to see all those windows and see all those, be able to navigate properly. It really is within that. Once you're done with the setup, you're ready live and ready to go. And really, you can start buying immediately. I mean, if you're already buying, it's hopefully enable you to buy more. The best part is for last, of course, and you're asking yourself, how much is it going to cost me? Well, the best part about it is that since you're a valued Cox Automotive customer, where you're both Manheim and V Auto customer, this product is free. So there is no subscription, there is no cost, there's no contract for you to sign. The only thing is that we want to make sure that you guys are using this product to enable you to become more successful in your business. So we are the expectation is that you do purchase at least 4 from Manheim Marketplace across the place a month. So if you're already buying 10, 15, 20, then you have no problems. This product is there to help you buy more, hopefully, or continue to buy the way you are, just buying it smarter and more efficiently. And if not, the expectation is that if you are not buying at least 4 a month, then there will be a fee charged to your account, which is about $299. But again, if you're buying cars from Manheim, there's no issue. The reason that we're putting this expectation on, to be honest with you, is that this is, even though it's an exclusive offering, and thankfully we have a lot of clients, we're only presenting this to a very limited amount of dealers or clients to go off. So we're only allowing for the full part of the product, or less than 1,000 dealers to be on this. So we want to make sure that you guys are using it, you guys are engaging with it and benefiting from it. And if you're not, then we can come back and revisit to say, if you're not really using it and you're not seeing the value, then we can try to help train you, make sure you're using it, at least getting out of it what you expect. And if not, then we're happy to talk about next steps from that perspective. So at this point, really, this is it. It was really just trying to give you an overview of what the product is and explaining to you the expectations. I'm going to pause at this point. If you guys have any questions, I believe you can unmute yourself to ask live, or if not, you have the question section at the bottom, which we'll be happy to engage with. Answer any questions, go in anything deeper, or we can end it here.